Are you nervous?
Yeah.
For real?
For real.
From 1 to 10?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in Sync Live once again. Today, I have the pleasure to have Charla Gonzales and Jacqueline Hernandez with us, two of our top producer agents at Sync Brokerage. And as usual, we're going to keep it as real as possible. So there is no need to be nervous. There is no need to sweaty hands. We're going to have fun. Just have fun. And the whole purpose of doing these podcasts is just to pick your brain, learn about yourself, learn about your business, your psychology, your goals, your targets, and inspire the community, especially women out there in business. So welcome to Sync Life.
Well, thank you. And no, not nervous at all, right?
You're not?
Yeah.
Welcome. Charla, it is an honor to have you here.
It's an honor to be here.
Love it, love it, love it.
I did not know it was going to be live, but
It is live. We have people watching right now.
No pressure. No pressure.
So if you guys want alcohol, just let us know. We'll bring some.
Yes, please.
We'll be fine.
Yes,
We'll be
please.
fine.
We'll take a double.
Double?
Or at least I will.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. Charla, tell us about your DNA. You are a very strong personality, driven individual. So share with us who's Charla.
I don't want to get, there's a lot to me.
Okay.
But many things, I was sharing some things with Jackie, but one of the things I think that has put me in the position and having the mentality and the ability to change very quickly, which is our industry. You have to be able to accept change really, really quickly. I could say I have 9 siblings.
Okay. Wow.
So
You are what? Number what?
I'm 4.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 9 siblings.
So with that being said, and just being out on my own since I was 16 and bought my first house when I was 18.
Wow.
Bought my first rental when I was 21.
Wow.
And then redirected. I was not in real estate then, but once again, my dad was kind of a flipper. He was a contractor. And so he bought houses and fixed them.
So you
and
learned that
resold
from
them.
him?
I figure I must have gotten the confidence from that, to be honest with you, and seen the value in purchasing and buying and selling homes at a young age because, that's what he did. I have to say that has to be a part of it. And I do flip houses myself. I have many investments that I do in real estate, and I highly encourage anyone who has not, dive in.
Love it. So you started, you bought your first house at 18, first investment at 21. Kids, no kids, marry, no marry. We want to know you. We want to know what's your DNA.
4 daughters, 4 amazing daughters. They're all highly productive in their lives as well. One of my daughters is a board certified behavioral analyst, and my youngest is in PA school right now. They're incredible, and they have a very, very good work ethic. They know how to handle themselves, and they also have been known since they were, young, how to take care of themselves, bills and everything.
Independent woman.
Yeah, a little something that I like. Now that they come to visit me or stay at the house, I'm like, you guys can move back home. I already proved you can learn everything that I wanted you to learn.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us how long you've been in real estate.
21 years.
21 years.
Yeah,
that's
21.
a long time. Actually,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. 2003.
Yes.
Roughly?
2003.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been through it. And
Few cycles.
A lot of cycles, and we're going through one. We're always going through it. And you just have to be able to adjust really quickly and not get too comfortable, because if you get too comfortable doing one thing, you're not going to survive in this business.
Interesting.
That's for sure.
That's interesting.
Because, in 2009, I think that's when you got in.
Towards the end of 2008, beginning of 2009.
Yeah. During that time, I was actually going through my divorce. And I had $30,000 from a previous job that I had that was in an IRA account or whatnot. I think they wanted me to remove it because the company was closing and move it somewhere else. And it was $30,000. And I had a listing come up that was $30,000. And I'm like, what else am I going to do with my $30,000 but buy a house while
you bought that property?
While I'm going through a divorce, yeah. And so I put everything that I had into one.
Even though the market was kind of like, it was collapsing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No pasa nada.
No pasa nada.
So, we've been working together for we're going into 3 years. We actually met at a networking event. You are a very big influence in the real estate industry, but also in different other industries. You do a lot of charity work. But we want to know, who's Jacqueline? What's your background? Why real estate? How you got into real estate? Like, who's Jacqueline Hernandez?
Okay. Unlike Charla, I'm an only child. So when I say that to people, they're like, oh, that makes sense. You know, like the only child syndrome. Yes. But at the same time, I was definitely not spoiled growing up.
Okay.
So I was raised by a single mother. You know, she did whatever she could to make ends meet. She worked in the fields for a really long time. I was actually born and raised in Oxnard, California. And so that was hard, you know, growing up, not having, you know, the luxuries that, you know, other kids may have had. I was the payless girl growing up. Right. Okay. And so the name Deals and Heels, that came from that. I became so obsessed with buying shoes because growing up, I didn't have them. Right. I had like the imitation shoes.
Love that.
And kids make fun of you. Right. It's cruel. And so I'm like, when I am able to, whenever I start working, I want to make sure I have the shoes that I didn't get to have growing up. And so fast forward, I became obsessed with heels. I can't even tell you how many I have.
I was about to ask how many you have. Roughly.
Roughly over 300.
Ouch.
Okay. That's a problem.
So you have a whole bedroom in your house.
It's a problem
for your heels.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. So that's
what size?
Oh, I have clown feet. I'm like a 9.5.
Oh,
you know, unfortunately. But that's where that name came from, right? And so I actually never wanted to be a realtor at all. Like, that's not ever something that I planned on being. Like, I'm going to wake up one day and I'm be like, I'm going to get into real estate. I actually got my degree in criminal justice, and I always wanted to get into law enforcement. And one day, my realtor calls me and says, hey, I signed you up for career night. So it wasn't an option of, can you come? Do you want to come? Are you interested? It was, I signed you up this time on Tuesday, 6:00. Let's go. I only went solely because I did not want to make her look bad. She was a friend of mine, so I'm like, I'm just going to go.
Career night for real estate?
For real estate, yeah.
Okay.
So ultimately to find out what real estate entails, right? And they said, you know, real estate school starts tomorrow. And that was it. So
so someone else got you into it.
Someone else got me into it. Yeah.
Interesting. Look at you. How long have you been doing real estate for now?
8 years.
Wow.
8 years.
Congrats. You're killing it.
Thank you.
Amazing. That's a very inspirational background story. Very inspirational. So Charla, let me ask you, so you've been doing real estate for 23 years. And I'm sure that it hasn't been easy. I guess that real estate, when they paint the picture, the myth that real estate, you can actually get your license, make a lot of money, become an investor, developer, and now you have Selling Sunset. You get your own show.
Right.
That's nowadays, right? That's the story they're selling.
Yeah.
You can be on TV. Mm-hmm. How many ups and downs you have experienced throughout your career? And what is one of the habits that is being a game changer for you, like something that really impact your career or your personal life through the ups and downs?
Well, how many ups and downs per day? Because
right, on a day-to-day.
Okay.
Yeah.
like pretty much yes, because on the average I sell about 10 houses a month. So that's some ups and downs, and we are working with.
Wait.
Yeah.
Stop right there. So we have the average realtor nationwide sells between 8 to 10 transactions, 8 to 10 homes a year. You just said you sell about 10 homes per month?
Correct.
Okay, how do you got that?
Consistency, showing up. I mean, how do I get it? In general, just showing up everywhere, being present, and having a routine. I mean, I literally am obsessed with meeting people, influencing people. And it's not even just about real estate. And like Jackie as well, I'm very involved in community events. I'm very involved with, I have a heart for those that have less and how to help them become more in life in general, any way you can. And I think that's where I came into kind of growing a team as well. But the 10 houses is mine, not the team's generally.
Okay, so I was processing. So it's roughly about 120 units. based on my experience in production, when you hit 25 units, you need a team, you need help, you need leverage, delegate. How do you do 120 units a year while you're dealing with personal life, while you're delegating things? What's the structure? What do you have? What's the structure of your team? You have partners? Is that just your volume?
Well, I'm the person out in the public. I'm doing all the listing appointments, and primarily I'm a listing agent. It's not something that I really planned so much, but it was just a niche, and I love helping people sell their homes and getting the top value, getting the best value, and having the ability, because of the size of my investments that I already have for myself, I can help people get their homes improvements. I mean, remodeling, updating, staging, the things that get you more value, and guiding my sellers in that way. So that's been a big thing as a listing agent. And then just people start sharing your name everywhere. Of course, social media is a really fast and easy platform to share information, which I usually get an average. I mean, 15 sounds low, but it's at least 15.
Oh, we got some alcohol.
Yeah, at least 15 listings from my social media.
Is that for real?
Every year for positive.
Yeah, I think that's for real.
We're live. That's fine. You can come in.
But anyway.
That's fine. Come on.
So
there you go. Yeah.
But as far as my
Okay,
she did bring ticket. So yeah, this is
Hey, 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
somebody told me that.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Good choice of poison.
As far as having a team, so I think you've met Crystal and Wendy.
Yeah, so you have a team.
I have actually 3. A transaction coordinator, which you must have to keep all your paperwork in order. You should know your paperwork.
And to keep you sane.
To keep you sane, yes. And I highly recommend for any new agent or any experienced agent, it's changing all the time. Know your paperwork. Don't look stupid. Like, read it. Know what you're doing. Don't just go out there and think that you can do a good job and you don't know what you're presenting. So that's something that I always make sure that I personally am up to date, but also that my team is up to date on any new papers, any new, and then having transaction coordinator, I have Crystal. She oversees all our escrows, our closings, to make sure that we have everything. And then, of course, a client care and social media coordinator.
So your team structure is not like having a partner 50-50. You have a team structure where you are the leader, and then you have a TC, 2 admin assistants, and then what else? Buyer's agents?
Yes, buyer's agents.
But their production doesn't impact your 120 a year.
Correct.
Okay, so 2 assistants, TC, buyer's agents, and then essentially you just go get listing appointments.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's a great structure. Yeah. I always thought that, and I still think day to day, partnerships of 50-50, one way or another, there's going to be conflict, especially for money. Never seen those business structures or those, kind of like the structure of those teams being successful. You have to be the leader. Yeah. Jacqueline, so kind of like going back to 8 years of, being in business. So let's see, it's 2025. So you started roughly 18? 2018. So yeah, the market was at a peak. Then you kind of like went through a cycle.
Right.
Not a, dramatic cycle, but how do you deal with the day-to-day like failure and deception, whether it's from your environment, family, clients, transactions? How do you deal with failure?
I mean, ultimately, on a day-to-day with real estate, things happen unexpectedly, things that are completely out of our control. At the beginning, I didn't know how to handle it as well, just because I get so emotionally involved with my clients. Like, for me, it's not just a transaction. Okay. It's not just money. You are a human being, and my job is to help you in any way that I possibly can, right? Sometimes agents in the business forget the why, right? The why is your client.
Okay.
They are number one. I mean, you
absolutely.
agree?
That's all.
So how do you detach yourself from, okay, let's say I'm an agent and I really need that commission because I have a bunch of things going on at home. I'm relying on that commission. One of the things they say is salespeople are very emotional, sometimes more than the clients. How do you manage your emotions and you detach from that commission and you attach to that why? Making the right decision with integrity, even if it's going to impact that commission.
You have a 5-minute funeral. 5 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. You have 5 minutes, and you just
Explain that.
So you have 5 minutes to cry about it, yell about it, vent about it, and then that's it. You let it go, because you can't let that transaction, those emotions, continue on with you the entire day, right?
Okay.
That can't be the reason why you're feeling, I'm defeated, I'm depressed, I'm stressed. Like, okay, so what are you going to do about it, right? So this didn't pan out. Either we're going to find every possible solution to make it happen. If the answer is just no, I'm going to give it to God. I'm going to say, God, if this is meant to happen, you will push this through. If not, we're going to move on to the next transaction. Let's continue to have something else in the pipeline so that you're not solely focused on what if this deal doesn't, end up closing. Now I don't have a commission. You can't base it on that.
So you're performing with faith.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So how many roller coasters you have throughout the day? So let's say 5-minute funeral. You have.
I love that. I'm going to use
10?
it. Yeah.
For sure.
Honestly, when something comes up, or I'm always beforehand even looking for that way to improve it and fix it. And every single night, obviously, my thing is I write down the list every single night, because I used to wake up when I started real estate just processing, and I still do sometimes, trying to figure out the way that this is going to work out. But the miracles happen all the time, every single day, but it's because I'm looking for them. You have to have your eyes opened for something, some way to offer your clients and your team and your life something bigger than just what you can see with your eyes, because it goes further and beyond and out. And of course, my faith drives that tremendously.
So you have to be present. You have to be conscious as you're going through the process.
100%.
You don't get lost or detached from the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something along the lines, and I'm sure you do it too, half of the time I have it solved for my buyers or sellers before I've even told them what happened.
Okay.
Like, it can be a train wreck. Everybody's canceling. There's no escrow. There's this happening. There's that happening. Like, they lost their job. I'm like, okay, what now? I'm on that phone finding the buyer that was looking at the house previously, trying to get it back into escrow so I can tell them this canceled, but we have another one
Oh,
coming.
so you resolve the problem before bringing it to the
For sure.
table.
Yeah.
The clients don't know what's happening.
Well,
They're not stressed.
I've seen a lot of agents, they actually share every single detail of the transaction, and the buyers or sellers are going through the freaking roller coaster with them. Like, yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
your
that's-
job is to
Protect
resolve
them.
it, protect them, just bring solutions.
Yeah. Solutions.
Awesome. For agents, so if there is one thing that, okay, you have an opportunity to go back and do it all over again. Number one, would you be a realtor again? Number two, what would you do differently?
That's good.
I would definitely be a realtor again.
Yeah?
And even with Jackie, like, I never dreamt of it. Like, I was selling houses. I broke my back. I didn't share that part of it. I was cliff diving, broke my back. I was in retail back then in management, and couldn't really go back. And I was bored in the house, and I was selling my house at that time. And an agent was like, you should get into real estate.
Was that the reason why you got into real estate?
I had bought 4 investments that year.
Okay.
With another realtor. Well, actually 4 different realtors. I didn't even know the whole philosophy of sticking with one, because nobody really told me that. So that's one thing that I really emphasize when I'm working with a buyer or seller. I'm your realtor for life, like, in more ways than one. Like, you're the only one, I'm the only one you ever need to call for the rest of your life. Unless I'm dead, I'm here for you.
Wow.
Like, basically.
Wow.
But yeah, I didn't really plan to be into real estate. But I see why I'm here and what makes me a good realtor, because of just knowing and having the drive and the passion that real estate is the absolute best investment you can have, whether the market's up or down. Like, of course we have to navigate through that changing before it's actually happening. So we're presenting it to our buyers and sellers before the market's actually shifting. This is what could happen. This is what we're seeing, knowing every single day, like, what we're doing here, really.
Wow. Jacqueline, if you are able to go back and do it again, would you change anything? What would you do differently?
I would make myself even more uncomfortable than what I was.
Okay.
I feel like we get to a point where we're so comfortable and we get so complacent and we're stagnant and we think, well, I'm already closing X amount of deals and I'm comfortable, I'm living fine, you're doing all the things you want to do. But ultimately, again, comfort and growth don't go together, right? So I think I would go back and I would put myself in rooms and situations where I'm so uncomfortable, but it's going to push me to grow even more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Competition.
I don't believe in that.
No?
No,
Okay.
because I feel like the only person you should be competing with is yourself.
So you're never thinking about, okay, so-and-so is doing better or so-and-so is achieving these targets. I want to get to that level. I'm competing with them somehow.
No, I think they're an inspiration. Like I look at Charla and I see her as an inspiration.
Okay.
Right? I look at her and I look at other people and I'm like, man, goals, right? But I don't necessarily feel like I need to compete with Charla, right? I can't compare myself to Charla. Charla's been in the business for, you said, over 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. So her journey looks completely different than mine.
Well, do you think that time matters?
Experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about so for example, like right now we have a lot of agents that are new, right? Mm-hmm. Somehow they blow out social media and you have an agent that in 20 years have sold, call it 50 homes. This new agent comes, blow out social media, and in 4 years they have 200 homes.
Okay.
So the amount of experience you can actually get it through the number of units, not the number of years. So do you think time matters?
Well, that is something that I do express and utilize in my presentation to my sellers.
Okay.
Is that I do have 21 years, but the 21 years isn't the most important part of the experience. I do have the ability to navigate through different markets, which new agents don't have that ability. But as far as there can be an agent that has 30, 50 years, they're not going to be smarter than I am. Because I'm actually studying the market. I'm actually up to date on all the paperwork. I'm actually up to date on the current social media, how we need to present your property, what needs to be done next, and why properties are selling higher at a different value. And then once we get offers, of course, knowing how to get them closing with the amount that the offer is actually presented at, and not just accepting every offer just because it comes in.
All right. Confidence. I always see, so for example, Charla, you're reaching massive amounts of success. You're closing, let's say on average, 10 units per month. That gives you a level of confidence, right? And achievement. At the same time, how do you manage or balance confidence with humility? Like that way you don't come as an arrogant.
Yeah. Do I come off arrogant?
No, actually, no, you don't.
I'm asking because I honestly, it's just, I have pride in the work that I do, but I don't think that I do it because of the people I've surrounded myself with and the people that have influenced me over my life. It's not something I could have ever achieved on my own. And I think maybe that is part of it because we need each other. We need each other to make and to succeed and get to the places and to that next place that we want to go. And if you're feeling like you've done it all yourself, I just don't even understand how there are a lot of people that we know that are super prideful in all kinds of places in our life. I just don't even feel that way at all. I feel like every single day is a gift, and every single listing, every single transaction, every single closing, I just feel so super grateful and blessed. And like the relationships that we build is just phenomenal beyond, like you said, the money. I never even look at
the dollars
at all.
You mentioned grateful and blessed.
Yeah.
So that shows that you are connected, down to earth. Mm-hmm. Love it. Jacqueline, this question, I always ask this question. So as a businesswoman, when you're presenting your business, you deal with a lot of different personalities. You also deal with men. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you manage to be successful and get the work done without breaking the integrity or your values? Reason why I'm asking that question is because now through social media, we're posting a lot of videos, a lot of reels and so forth. I've seen in our industry that a lot of men reach out with the excuse of buying a property, but in reality, they're looking for something else. Mm-hmm. How do you guys manage that because potentially it's a buyer, but you kind of like keep them on track. Like, we're doing business. How do you manage that?
Well, I feel like it's how you ultimately carry yourself, how you're showing up in certain places, what you're posting. I mean, the content that you're creating and that you're sharing ultimately is going to say a lot about who you are as an individual, right? So
Sure.
I feel like at the same time, you have to be very, very careful in this business. Your reputation is everything. And so you want to have a pristine reputation to where when people see you, they know that you are the professional. You are not someone that they're going to call because they're going to use that excuse as, I want to buy a house, but hey, do you want to go out to dinner? No, bro, I'm married. I've been happily married for 16 years, right? And I think also it's maybe sometimes the jokes that start off trying to be funny, but I'm going to shut it down immediately. Like, this is business, if you're
Would you
looking
be
for
very
something
honest
else,
with that person?
I've been very, very honest. 100%. I'm like, I'm sorry. I think you're looking for someone else. Maybe go that way.
I'll refer you to another agent.
Or sometimes, we get crazy messages like, oh, I want to send you money. And I'm like, my husband will be happy to take it. I come back at like that. Like, I love my husband and I'm always going to give him the utmost respect, and how I portray myself, how I carry myself is a representation of him and vice versa. So,
Right. Yeah.
Charla, you are in social media like an influencer. We had a couple meetings last week and you were on the phone, like you're taking photo, video, you're making sure that every single moment counts and you leverage every single experience in social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many messages you get a day, but how do you deal with unwanted solicitations using real estate as an excuse?
There are a few.
Or you just don't
there are a
entertain it.
few, and we all, it doesn't matter your age or even anything. There's some crazy messages that come through. And I do have a client right now, and I did not take him on as a client that was inappropriate with me because I am single and I am not married. So they think that for some reason they can act a certain way. And I did not take the listing, to be honest with you, because I asked him more than one time, I'm not your sugar baby. I'm not your sweetheart. I said, my name is Charlotte and I would love to work with you on a professional level, but if I'm not for you, that's fine. And he did not continue with me because he did not respect my boundaries. One being single is a little different. But also, regardless, if it's on a professional level, it's always going to be professional.
she said something. She said, if it's not for me, it's fine, right? Not every client is going to be for you. Not all personalities are going to match. And I think that people get so stuck on, I lost that client. Maybe that was God's way of protecting you. That wasn't supposed to be for you. So move on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Have a lot of clients so you can fire.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I prefer to work with everyone, and I usually find a way, but occasionally there is not a way.
Love it. Biggest lesson, transaction, biggest win in your business, on your career. One experience, one big move that you're proud of.
All of them. No, I don't know. That's a big question.
Yeah.
Like if you take 23 years of career, what is that one thing that you took the risk, you accomplished it, and that changed your entire, career or life?
I mean, just treating it like it's a job as far as real estate's going. But as far as my life, my biggest win is my children and their success and them building their lives. And when it's like, honestly, could bring me to tears, because when I ask them, like, my kids are so amazing and very influential in people's lives and in everywhere that they go as well. They just really have put a lot of effort into being good humans and having a lot of character and really, going
So they're a reflection of you, the way you raise them.
Yeah. So, I mean, they say that, but they're just so much better than I could ever imagine, to be honest with you. And being a parent and being a mom is like unreal for me.
So how do you balance that? Do you believe in balance? Because you're busy. When you're dealing with so many transactions, people's personality, your team, the business, I'm sure you have your other, projections, goals, targets, but you also have a family. How do you deal with that? How do you balance that?
Well, when they were younger, they went everywhere with me. My kids actually helped me. I hired them to work with me.
They were little when you started in real estate.
Yeah, they were young,
so,
5.
Single mom?
Yeah.
How you did that?
Yeah, they just went with me. My kids slept many hours underneath my office desk.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they went with me. My youngest daughter actually showed properties with me, depending on the client, often. And then when she was old enough, I hired her to help me with writing cards, social media, all these different things. She actually would go to we know Tom Ferry. Everybody's heard of Tom Ferry. And in this industry, you've listened to him once or twice. But we did go to an event, and I took my daughter because she was working with me. And some things happened that actually improved her as a person as well. But she is excellent on the phone. And somebody targeted her because she's so cute. And she wanted to just kind of hide in the corner and not really be a participant in the scripting that they were doing. And this young man went over there, got her story, started talking to her like, oh, well then, if you're only an assistant only, let's do these scripts or whatever. But I'm just saying that as far as interviewing and knowing how to speak with people, it just constantly in every area of your life, when you can go, we talked about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you can go back.
Right.
And his story is great. And if you have done those things in your life, you can see where it brought you to the position that you are and that you need to continue to grow and succeed. And so the one thing, I still can't tell you the one thing.
You don't have one moment?
There's just so many moments. But, meeting you and coming on Sync, I just know that's going to propel the business to a whole new level. And just having the community that I already feel like we have here is going to be incredible. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Mm-hmm. Jackie, in your career, one moment, one transaction, one big thing, big experience that highlighted your path.
I think the big moment was just me getting in the business again, just because I never thought about real estate in the first place, right? So obviously that completely changed my whole entire, life in a sense, just because I had other goals, but clearly God was like, no, that's not what you're going to be doing. I wanted to get into law enforcement because, as cheesy as this is going to sound, I wanted to protect and serve. And I am serving people just in a different way now.
And protecting as well.
I believe that I can still change lives through real estate. But in regards to what's the biggest moment of my career, I'm going to say currently the moment I'm in now. It is.
What is it?
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it yet, but soon it'll be out there for everyone to spend in my entire life.
Is it?
Yes. This is the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my entire life.
Is it?
Yes. I'm constantly...
What are you feeling right now?
Stress, nerves.
Why?
Excitement. Because of everything that's going to happen, hopefully, down the line.
Okay.
And so, I believe this is the time currently in my career where things can significantly change for myself and my family. And so... it's scary, but it's going.
You mentioned in the hallway that you were feeling these mixed, emotions that you never felt before in business.
Yeah.
You just don't understand why.
Right. It's like, why am I feeling like this? I feel like, when you want to throw up all the time, right? Like seriously, like the nerves, No, no, babe, I'm not pregnant. It's the nerves of it. I think it's the anticipation. It's the seeing the final result of everything that kind of has me a little shaken right now.
Makes me wonder, what is it? You're not going to share it today.
I'm not going to share it today, but soon enough.
Okay.
But I'm nervous all the time and I can't sleep.
Right now?
Yes, every day.
Wow.
For like the past month. I feel like I'm on a constant roller coaster. When you're going down and you're like trying to close your eyes and you're holding on for your life, that's what I feel like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get used to it. I mean, it has been a little bit this new transition, but I'm very excited. But the thing about getting uncomfortable, like you talked about, and I've been a lot uncomfortable the last month with some changes.
Well, yeah, I mean, 12 years with your previous brokerage, especially when you have that kind of career and that kind of volume with the team, making a transition to a new brokerage. I can only imagine the stress level, the anxiety. So
yeah,
it's been.
But it's a shift. But at the same time, I think we, obviously we have control over certain things in our life, what we do, where we go. But there's some things you just don't have control over. And sometimes I realized it's kind of not really true that we can control everything. So the fact that I felt that way and it's putting me out of the comfort zone, and I'm like, okay, God, you brought me here. Where are you taking me? And just having that and having the encouragement of so many people that like, it's going to be bigger and better than you thought. And just growing and having a lot of people being super, super, super supportive of my decision, and also reaching out like, I want to do it too. I want to join you. I think I could see the vision, and I really appreciate that.
Love it. Love it. What's next for you?
What are you doing, Jackie?
What? What did she say?
She said, what are you doing? I'll tell you soon enough.
Wow, I'm actually,
what are you doing?
Do we need to open that?
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God.
That's funny.
Charla, just go for it.
No, I don't do tequila. I do vodka.
Was that tequila?
Yeah.
Tito's?
Yeah, I
There
only
you
do
go.
tequila si es de Jalisco.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So, Charla, so are you satisfied with your business right now? Are you satisfied? I mean, you are beyond the top agent. I mean, you're probably number one.
I mean, I don't want to sound in a weird way that I'm not satisfied, but I'm never going to just settle and be like, this is it.
So you want more?
I always want more.
Why? If you have enough. What's the purpose of wanting more?
I mean, for me right now,
You want more money, more transactions? What is it that you want
just
more?
expand, see what's next.
Okay.
And just having, like I said, the people coming to me to want to join and want to learn. And that's been something that I really have enjoyed. And it wasn't really something that I planned also. I had people reaching out to me like, I want to work with you. Can I work with you? And that's what kind of started my team in the first place. It wasn't really an idea I had. So then when I see it and when I envision it, it's actually something that I kind of dreamt about. I'm like, I just see all these amazing women around that were just like thriving and encouraging. And to that level, I always want to sell. I love selling, but I do want to, watch the people around me succeed as well as I have, and they can. And even just like, you have to change and shift every day. And that's one of the biggest things I tell them. Learn something new every day. Like for the rest of your life. Why just now? I mean, it doesn't matter. People die because they stop learning, because they stop having something to live for.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And so I think you can always do that for the rest of your life, and it's going to help you in any area.
Why settling? You're satisfied now, Jacqueline?
No, not even close. Not even close. I feel like I could be doing a lot better because I know my potential. Sometimes I forget and I have to look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, did you forget who you are? Like people are counting on you. This is bigger than you, right? And so, me tengo que poner las pilas. Yeah. That's it,
Can you translate that? Ponente las pilas.
Ponerte las pilas.
Put your batteries on.
Put your batteries on. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
right? But I just got to do, I just have to do it, right? I have to stop thinking. I have to get ready to finally do it. You're never going to be ready. Whatever new venture, whatever new thing you're trying to do, you just have to jump in, all in. You can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? And so for me, wanting more and not being satisfied where I currently am now means I can give more to my family. I can give more to people in need, because if God is going to bless me, I need to be a blessing to others. It's not just for myself.
Love it. Mm-hmm. Let's get personal.
Oh, I thought we were getting personal. I thought this was personal.
Charla, from 1 to 10, are you happy? Are you happy right now?
I'm very happy. I mean, I wake up every single morning with just feeling like there's so many opportunities and such a blessing. And even with the ups and downs in real estate and in so many areas, it's not just that. Of course, we know people and that are close to us that aren't here with us any longer, and different things throughout the years. I did lose some very good friends over the last year, actually this year. But still knowing and being grateful, and just a grateful attitude is never going to take you. It's never going to take you in a bad place. Just waking up, because we all have things to be grateful for, no matter what it is. It's just, that's all I can really say, is just having a grateful heart.
So from 1 to 10, what number is that?
I'll say a 10, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, I want more, but I don't think it can make me happier. I just think it can take me to a new level in my life. But I think...
So that doesn't define your happiness?
No, it doesn't define my happiness. And even the rough days, they don't define my happiness, because my happiness comes from within, and the things that you know that you have accomplished. And, if it doesn't go right, like Jackie said, then it wasn't meant to be for you. And there's a new direction to go. And so having the right perspective on even the things that you think you wanted, or think you should have had, or it should have gone this way or that way. And then realizing it wasn't the direction you should be going. So it protected you.
I guess when as a human being, when you are willing to embrace the good, the bad, the painful, and the joy, that's when you can kind of really enjoy or live, kind of feel that happiness, right? I mean, whatever it is, ugly, I love it. Beautiful, I love it. Whatever, it's life.
Now, if you want to get personal, I am looking for a husband. No, I'm just kidding.
At the end, you're gonna tell us your handle for Instagram, your phone number.
We'll put it on there.
I'm not really looking. That's not really true. Yeah. But at some point in my life,
Jackie, from 1 to 10, you happy?
I'm not happy.
Okay.
I'm ecstatic. I got to wake up today, so clearly my purpose isn't done in this world. I'm healthy. I'm able to see. I'm able to walk. So I thank God for my health every day. I have a beautiful family. They're healthy. So, of course, why wouldn't I be happy? I'm able to create relationships and opportunities. And like you said, sometimes there might be a door that's shut. But if I just keep going down the hall, there's 2 doors that are open, right? So I'm extremely happy for all of it.
Okay. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys are happy. I'm happy with
What
both
about
of
you?
I'm super happy. I'm super high on life all the time. People think that sometimes they ask me what is it that you do? I'm like, I have a lot of fucking energy.
Yeah.
And I'm always happy. Honestly, I take my day by day as you. The fact that I'm here, everything else is on me. I see everything else as a bonus. And the fact that I'm healthy, I can have my own and make my own decisions. That's life. I enjoy it. I embrace it the way it is. And however God sends it to me, there is always a reason why. So I never question anything.
Yeah.
I go through it. Yeah, love it. So Charla, if just kind of to wrap it up, if there is an advice that you can share or you can give any realtor out there complaining about the market, complaining about their business, complaining about the, lack of support. I guess that everybody has equal choice and opportunities. Is there a magic pill for you to be successful? Or what is one advice that you can share with other realtors, single moms, businesswomen, something that they can do to actually increase their business productivity?
Yeah. So I would just, number one, be consistent for yourself. Get a routine. Treat it like it is a job, a career. A lot of people want to get into real estate and they think it's just this big paycheck they're going to get all the time. And it's not that way at all. And be very service-minded. Like I said already, you have to be learning and able to grow. I remember hiring my first assistant, panic, really, because I'm now responsible for somebody else's livelihood. And her whole family's depending on me to make money.
Wow.
in real estate. And now I have 3 people dependent on me. But that just drives me more because I know that they are having a better life because of the ability that I have to be self-motivated. This business is definitely not for everybody. You have to be able to maintain your emotions and not get out of control. And, what was it? 5 minute funeral. I'm going to keep on to that. But, and just being able to get back on track like instantly. And one of the things I personally think that you should, which I'm very bad at, they talk about giving yourself a reward. I never do. I'm like on to the next. Yay, we closed like 2, 3, 4.
You celebrate.
But I think you should celebrate your achievements, definitely. But show up, learn something new. You have to, if you're a new agent, you have to be making the phone calls. You have to be making the in-person connections. You have to be doing the open houses, and don't do them crappy open house. Like, go meet the neighbors. Social has put a phenomenal ability to put you out there. But a lot of newer agents are posting, and it may look like they're doing well, but they're not selling anything because they're just posting. They aren't following it up with the phone calls, the in-person meetings, going to lunch, being community-minded, doing community events. Like I said, I do help out a couple of different churches with like homeless ministries and giving back, and even with the teenagers and young people at the schools, supporting teachers in different ways as well, because they need our support. There's so many ways you can reach out and get yourself involved in community. So you can't just be stagnant, first off. And if you aren't giving back, you're going to fail at everything in your life, and none of it's going to mean anything anyways.
Interesting. But first, focus on getting some before you give back.
Well, I think it does go hand in hand, because you don't have to have any money to go serve at a homeless ministry.
Right. So, okay.
You could just give your time.
Your time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like to even give their time because they don't want to be inconvenienced. We're living in a world where people don't want to be inconvenienced. And I mean, an hour, 2 hours are like, well, I can be doing something else. I can be on my phone or watching a Netflix special for 2 hours. But the feeling that you get from helping someone else and being of service, that's priceless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One thing that you can share, an advice with the industry, what can they do to get to your level?
Well, I don't even know what level I'm on right now. But no, ultimately, I think what Charla said is extremely important. I got really known by the community was because I just started calling people. I didn't wait for anybody to tell me, do you want to come and volunteer here? I would just pick up the phone and say, hi, I'm Jacqueline Hernandez. I was with another brokerage back then, but I'm with so-and-so, and I just want to know, how can I help? What do you guys need?
Be of help.
And so I would just, if it was food or if it was clothing, whatever it was, I would put on a fundraiser, or I would collect items and take it to them, or just serve there. And so that is extremely important. But ultimately, again, Charla said it. I mean, back and forth, people are not motivated all the time. The fact that people are like, motivation, that's great, right? It's going to push you, but the consistency ultimately is what's going to get you through years.
Consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so ultimately just being consistent and doing the things that you definitely don't feel like doing, because there's days where I don't want to do the things I know I should be doing. And I'm like, I don't want to get up. I want to sleep in. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to make my phone calls. But these are the things, especially on those days, is when you absolutely need to get it together and say, you don't care how you feel. Make the calls, go to the gym, do what needs to be done, right?
Love
because ultimately you can have a lot of those days, and if you let them linger, all of a sudden those days become weeks and then months, and then what are you doing?
Love it. Mm-hmm. I think that I feel that we had a great time, and time went really fast. You didn't need the alcohol. You did just completely fine. You ladies got comfortable.
If vodka was here, she might have changed her mind.
With vodka,
we could have gone on for 3 hours.
There you go.
With that. Yeah.
No, I mean, after the first one, then yes, it will continue.
Yeah.
I think that we got a little bit of, deeply like, who's Charla, who's Jacqueline. Now I'm very curious to see and learn more about what's giving you anxiety right now. You're not going to share with us?
Not today.
Okay, not today.
No.
Anything that you can share with them? I mean, they're watching. They're spending 45 minutes watching this podcast. Like, give them something.
It's gonna be something.
What's happening? Even Charlie's like, shit.
I'm kind of shocked she hasn't shared anything. Now
you got content for carpooling back home.
Well, this is the thing. I've learned that sometimes when you announce your moves before they're done, people sometimes have an opinion and it might throw you off, and not everyone is happy for you, right? And so you have to. Jim Rohn said, "Shut up or keep your mouth shut when you're happy."
All right.
And so I'm like keeping my mouth shut.
All right, we're gonna leave it like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching Sync Live once again. Today we had Jacqueline, we had Charla, and I have a feeling that this is not gonna be the first and only time. We're gonna have Charla again, and we're gonna have Jacqueline probably second podcast to see what is it? What is that little secret that she's keeping?
Yeah.
The little dirty secret that she's keeping.
Dirty secret.
Thank you guys so much. You guys had a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Love you.
Cool.